What's up, everybody? This is Fidel from How We Talk Podcast.
What's going on, guys? I'm Izzy.
Where are you from?
Oh, I'm from How We Talk Podcast.
Oh, right, cool.
I thought you were hitting me up, dude.
Where you from,
I was like, you know me.
You know me. West Covina, dude. West Covina. Nah, let's not say that because that exists, huh?
Yeah.
It does exist. Great. West Covina?
Yeah.
Dang
did.
it, man.
Damn.
Shot on the way home.
Man, you know what? Never
Secret location.
mind. Forget
Secret
that.
location.
Edit that out. Just kidding. We don't edit. We don't edit anything on this
We
show.
don't edit nothing.
But anyways, speaking of editing, this is Rudy Guzman here we have today.
That's
My
well,
friend
guys.
Rudy.
Why, speaking of editing?
I don't know. I just couldn't think of a good segue. I couldn't.
You do editing?
I couldn't think of a good segue.
Horrible.
Well, it would have been fine if you didn't call me out on it.
Speaking of pole dancing,
Right? There was that one summer.
Rudy is my BFF.
he is your
Yeah,
BFF?
I think the kids. I looked it up. I googled it. The kids are saying it's still BFF.
BFF.
Yeah.
Best friend forever.
Right.
And
Wow.
we KIT.
What's that?
I said we KIT.
Did you ever change?
Oh, we do KIT. That's old school.
Did you ever change?
Not after the summer.
Dang, dude.
Yeah,
Don't ever change.
Don't ever change.
Dang.
That's
So
all.
since when?
Oh man, I don't know the year.
1990.
No, not 99.
No.
When did you date that one girl?
So
we met.
Summer of 62.
It's funny. It's a funny story how we met. We'll get to the year later. We'll think about it right now. But
Yeah.
so Rudy and I met from his ex-girlfriend. His ex-girlfriend I went to high school with, and we were really good friends. And then just kind of didn't work out, the friendship. But I gained a compadre right here. You know, he baptized my son. So I'm going to say long story short. If he wants to add anything else to it, he's my BFF now. Is that how you remember it?
I remember we went to it was our first night the first time that she said that she was going to introduce me to her friends, and I was really nervous. I'm like, oh man, we're going out to a dinner. I forget what, but we're going to Racio's house, the apartments.
Right.
And so we get there and we park and everything. I'm all nervous. I'm like, I don't know these guys or anything. Plus Covina High School. I went to West Covina High School. So
Oh, yeah.
Not like we were rivals, but it is West versus
Right.
neutral zone.
Best.
Right. Exactly. That's what we used to say, right?
yeah, well, to each their own. But so we got to the house and everything, and I was just kind of keeping to myself, and Fidel and Lily were there. Rasil was getting ready, and I kind of just sat down, and I don't remember how it came up, but Fidel said something about wrestling, and I said, oh, did you see the pay-per-view or whatever? And then he turned and he was like, oh, you watch wrestling? I go, yeah. And then after that, like, we couldn't stop talking about wrestling. Like, we were just
That whole night. I think
that
the
whole-
girls got to like, fuck, dude, guys, shut the fuck up already.
the bromance began right there.
Yeah, it actually
Bromance.
did. It actually did begin right there.
Yeah, it's
That's
like,
right. The WWE or WWF. Was it
at that
WWF
time,
at that time?
Yeah.
They dropped the F.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's when the whole Stone Cold, like that
Yeah.
right was about the peak of Stone Cold
The
and The
Attitude
Rock.
Era.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
good times.
But that's right. Yeah. So it was definitely the wrestling that brought us closer together.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I wasn't shy about. There's a lot of people that are shy about were shy about being wrestling fans. I wasn't, dude. I went to all kinds of shows. Whenever I got a chance to go, I'll go to all the shows. You know, whenever here.
Really?
Yeah, oh yeah, dude. The furthest I've went, well, it's not even that far. But I mean, I went to Seattle,
Right.
to watch WrestleMania over there, and that was pretty cool for me.
That's further than what I've gone.
Oh really?
Yeah, I've only gone to
Fresno.
Fresno. Yes.
Oh, we told the Fresno story.
I
on
heard.
here,
I heard
dude.
it.
Remember when
Oh,
Brenda?
yeah,
the
yeah.
Porterville.
Yeah,
Porterville.
That was Rudy. This is the Rudy, guys. This is him.
I ordered the lemon drop
The lemon.
at Hicksville, USA.
That's
Oh,
right.
man.
That's right. Bro, there's a lot of stories that we could
Oh, yeah.
talk, huh?
Yeah.
We can chop it up for days, man.
Lemon drop.
Lemon drop. But yeah, like I said, I wasn't shy about it. I would, I wore it on my sleeves. Matter of fact, I bought a sweater and it said WWE on my sleeve.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. I didn't care. I
Yeah.
loved it, man. And and just like, it's funny because the way we met was through WWE, right? It was through someone else, but
what our common like what
Right.
got us
Common
our
interest,
conversation.
Yeah,
Right.
was WWE. But and the time that we kind of lost interest in the WWE was the same time at the same show. We were there watching a Raw. Was
Raw
it a Raw?
taping? Yeah.
A taping of Raw. I think it was in LA, Staples Center, maybe. Yeah, it was
Yeah,
Staples Center. And
uh-huh.
we're sitting way up high, which are
We got free seat. We got free
did.
seats.
Alex hooked it up. Your
Yeah.
cousin Alex hooked it up. Shout out to Alex. He listens to the show.
Mm.
And I think Alex was in between us,
Mhm.
him and his buddy. And for whatever reason, my bro was way out there. Anyways, I was so embarrassed that I was dozing off, dude, on the show, just falling asleep during a live taping of Raw. And I was like, damn. And then after the show, hey, what'd you think? It was good. You know, trying to play it off. And then finally I was like, I can't lie to Rudy. I was like, dude, I fell asleep. And he's like, me too. So either we were getting old, which is probably,
It was time.
yeah.
It
Oh, it was
time.
just or it was getting predictable.
It was getting way too predictable. I already knew what was going to happen. I knew the storyline. And we were there live. So, you know, even though, I mean, Raw is taped live
Right.
with the delay. Thanks, Janet Jackson. But yeah, dude, at the same time, same show, man, we just kind of just lost interest in it. We stopped watching it. Cold turkey.
Yeah.
Try doing that. But I started watching it again, dude.
Yeah.
I don't know if you are watching it right now, but I started again.
Well,
only
since,
because of
since I
Vincent.
found out that Vince is starting to watch it, so now I'm picking it back up.
Yeah.
So that, you know.
Now I don't watch it like the whole. I don't watch. I have to ask him what's going on,
Mhm.
and he's you know he's that we DVR it, so he's always watching it. You know, because Raw tapes pretty late,
Mhm.
so he's in bed already. But he gets home from school and he starts watching it. You know, the taping of it, and I'll sit there with him for a little bit, but I got to do my thing too. I got to go to work and I have to ask him, hey, what's going on? He tells me everything. He geeked out more than we are, dude. More than we were.
Well, I'm sure when we were his age, we were just as
Yeah, that's
as
right.
into
Yeah.
it.
Watching Saturday mornings.
Yeah.
And then,
Or Saturday Night Main Events.
Yeah.
Every now and again on
Yep.
Channel 4.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, dude.
But yeah, so that's the reason why I started watching it again.
Yeah.
But
It's good
whatever.
enough reason.
I mean,
I never got into
You
wrestling.
never did?
Mm-mm. I always thought it was fake.
Well,
Or I always knew it was fake.
you
I should
you
say.
know, people that said it was fake, I just punch them in the face. And
Yeah.
like, you feel that?
Yeah.
You feel that? Because they feel it.
Well, yeah, man. My one of my good friends from high school. He's a professional wrestler. He's he was big time into wrestling, and he lived his dreams. Shout out to JR and AK Rocky Romero.
That's right. Rocky
Um,
Romero.
And he would tell us, man, those slaps across the chest, man. He would come back and his chest would be like beat red.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And all the shots that they take, all the hard work that they put in, they are big time athletes, man. Maybe it's choreographed or it's predetermined, but you try doing a backflip off the top of a
Right. I think
you know,
that's
steel cage
I think
and
that's
stuff.
what I meant by fake. The whole predetermined and the stage.
Yeah,
thing.
it's definitely
But
predetermined.
the
yeah.
physicalness of it, physicalities are very real.
Oh, it's real.
Very,
Oh, yeah.
real.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Very real.
I mean, it's more real than a lot of sports out there. I think like as far as the physicality of it. These
Sure.
guys, they put their body through a lot, man.
Mhm.
Year in, day in, day out. Now I think their schedules, like they've been talking about, it's a little bit less than it was before, back like the
Right.
Stone Cold and The Rock. But
The Undertaker.
The Undertaker, oh man, that
Yes.
guy's so beat up, and he's still gonna wrestle again,
Yeah,
dude.
he's only down to one show a year, maybe
Yeah.
two, and that's
Uh-huh.
about it. But I mean, he earned it. I mean, he's done over 20 some odd years
Yeah.
in wrestling.
Yep.
And yeah, they put their bodies through hell, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, more power to them.
Yep.
Hulk Hogan.
Hulk Hogan. This
I'm just
this
throwing out
podcast turned into a WWE podcast.
I'm just throwing names
man.
out there that I remember.
Hulk Hogan, Ultimate Warrior.
Ultimate Warrior.
Oh, we can go on and on.
The
Yeah.
Rock.
The Rock.
I'm kind of like The Rock.
Yeah.
I'm like the Pebble right now. But I'll get there soon.
You're the Rock's arm.
For real.
Right.
But how I was saying though, yeah, I mean it's so cool that we've been able to maintain that friendship, for such a long time, and it's hard, like not a lot of people get to do that,
Mhm.
and it's I think asking him to be my compadre, like that made us even closer. Not that we were, we weren't close anyways before that, you know.
You guys met through his
His
ex
ex-girlfriend
was your friends?
which was my friend since like junior high.
Are you guys still friends? Because that's, I mean, 'cause
Um,
you guys are closer.
We're still friends, yeah.
Yeah, but not.
No, she's out of the equation.
She gone.
She gone.
Wow.
But that's a whole nother podcast.
Yeah, that's a crazy turnaround, though. I mean, you
Yeah.
got a best friend out of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, it's crazy. How, like, it just, that's unfortunate, but yeah, that's it. You know.
I don't have any best friends.
Oh, that sucks. But I mean, I'm your friend. Notice I said I'm your friend.
Yeah,
not your best friend.
Yeah, I know.
I got you. But anyways, if you do want to, if there's a silver lining, that's what it is.
Yeah.
Best friend forever. BFF.
It's good.
Thanks.
I should have ended the podcast like that. Teardrop.
I mean, for as long as I've known you, he's always been there.
Yeah.
He's always been
Yeah,
around.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
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 But like I said, stories for days, man. We've like the lemon drop one in Porterville. That's just one of many, man. Like we can go Vegas, dude.
Vegas.
You know how they say like what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas?
No, I don't.
It doesn't. But is it the same for podcasts? Like airwaves?
No,
We can.
there's
Can we
so
take-
many great Vegas stories that I wouldn't want to keep them from anybody. Vegas for me was always fun, but then when Fidel came into it was a whole different level. And the one thing about Fidel that's hilarious, man, no matter where we go, Fidel knows somebody. Doesn't matter what state we're in, it doesn't matter where we're at, somebody he knew in somewhere, high school, something. He's like, oh, he'll come up to us and it's like, oh, I ran into so-and-so and da-da-da. And I'm like, dude, we're like,
Yeah.
We're in Porterville.
yeah, we're in Porterville. But he will always run into somebody, and I always thought that's a sign of a good person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
thank you.
That someone recognizes you
Mhm.
and says what's up, and gives you a hand to say what's up. I
Yeah.
mean that means you were a good guy throughout the you growing up and
Yeah.
all that stuff, that they knew your name.
Yeah.
Right. And
Yeah. And that's totally a good thing. I think that's a good thing. I was dating somebody recently, and that was a complaint. Like, everywhere we go, somebody.
yeah.
How is that a bad thing?
How's that a bad thing? Yeah. I
I'm a
mean,
people person.
I a lot of times, like, there's some people that don't want to be seen,
Mm-hmm.
and I see them, and I saw you that you saw me, and I'm gonna make it. Hey, Billy. Like, I'm gonna let you know, like, hey, I saw you, dude.
Right.
So yeah, I'm because to me it's like it was a friendship, and even though it was like we don't talk anymore, it's cool, man. It's a little surreal that you can bump into somebody that and all these hundreds of people that are around you, and like when we go to Vegas and just walking down there and like, oh hey, what's up? It doesn't, we're not like stopping exchanging phone numbers and
Right.
talking for 20 minutes. It's just a quick hi, how you doing? A shake. Hey man, catch you later. Hopefully we run into you.
Yeah.
Boom, and that's it.
Yeah.
But it's just that acknowledgement, and it is because I did a lot of sport, a lot of soccer.
Mm-hmm.
We played in La Puente, and then we traveled, different cities, and you get to know a lot of people, especially when you play for so many years and you're there at the park all day long.
Right.
I mean, you grow attached to some of these people, and it never goes away. A lot of people that I have bumped into are from, like, soccer, and then some of them, school, work.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Yeah, when since working for the auto club, and I got transferred to the Glendora office, and even when I worked in the Upland office, a lot of people from West Covina kind of filtered out that way, Rancho Cucamonga or whatever. But since working for the auto club, and I worked in Glendora and the Laverne office, I helped out every now and again. I'd run into a few people from high school and
Yeah.
stuff like that. And I say, hey, what's going on, man? I haven't seen you in a while. Oh yeah, man, how's it going?
Yeah.
And we'll catch up for like 5 minutes, and but I make sure that if it's somebody I remember, give them, what's going on.
Just on Sunday, we were at hanging out at, shout out Edna V's over here in downtown Covina.
Yeah.
We were having some brunch or whatever there, and or lunch, whatever it was. And you ran into somebody,
Yeah.
and it was someone from the auto club, right?
Yeah.
So
Right.
I mean, it just like you said, you mentioned earlier, Rocio almost. She's the same way. Rocio's everybody knows Rocio,
Yeah.
and she more than me. She's Miss Miss Covina.
Yeah.
Like everybody knows her.
Because she made everybody's coffee for like how many ever
Oh,
many
we're
years.
at the Albertsons.
At the Albertsons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, she knows everybody. Too. Her and her mom. Yeah, they know
I bet.
everybody.
Yeah. Well, I think to get back to the Vegas stories, you can't get away from those ones, man. They're hilarious. Those
Yeah.
the stories are too good to keep
Yeah.
in Vegas.
You never heard any of them, huh?
Mm-mm.
Oh man, where do we begin?
You know what though? My uncle says this. I have stories to be sold, not told.
Ah,
You know
shit.
what I mean?
Well,
No, but I mean, if you guys want to tell stories,
well,
I got Vegas stories too.
oh
But
yeah.
no, but
Oh,
yeah.
damn.
I think we.
Well, I think maybe you should start off by saying that when we went to Vegas, we'd go to Vegas what 2 or 3 times a year, for sure 2 times a year.
Yeah, my birthday or Paul's birthday.
So we'd go 2 times a year, and when we go over there, we were able to splurge a little
Mhm.
bit more than normal, because we'd go and hang out at Ruben's house.
Yeah, shout out to Ruben Delgado
Yeah,
in
Ruben.
Is this-
Vegas.
Pre Vincent?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, when Vincent, I think it's been 8 years since we've gone to Vegas.
Damn.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Vegas trip is overdue. No,
Yeah.
we'll get there one day. I got a baby on the way.
But yeah, Ruben, he made Vegas like a blast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you guys didn't have to pay for a room or anything?
No,
You
well,
just
yeah,
go stay with
we
him?
would stay with him and we'd hook him up with drinks. Well, we'd try to hook him up with drinks. That guy
Right.
always hooked us up with drinks. You know, he knew all the good spots over there in Vegas, because when you live out there, you know, it's your backyard.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, we'd go to hang out all these spots and just drink them up. And we knew all the good bars, the bartenders that would hook
Mhm.
it up. So you go and buying a drink for what, $15 or whatever it is, and you know it's worth the $15.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like a 80% alcohol, 20%, or 90-10.
Right.
But yeah,
Yeah. And I think what was interesting was the first time that I took Fidel, and not that I warned him about Ruben, because Ruben's a great guy. He's like, I said, but I partied with them before, and he can hold his own. And I knew Fidel, like, he can drink too. And I said, hey, just, and that when we go out, we're gonna have a few drinks. And so when he met Ruben, they're all talking, laughing, and everything. He's like, well, we're going to go out, we're going to have some drinks, but, I hope you can keep up. And he's like, oh, I could keep up. I can keep up. And Ruben's like, and Ruben's a little shorter than us.
yeah.
And he's like, look at me. I can handle this.
He's a healthy, fit dude, but
Yeah.
but he's shorter,
Yeah.
And so, so we go out to Carnival Court, in Vegas.
Yeah.
And he's like, all right, Fidel. He's like, I'm gonna match you drink for drink, okay? So you keep up with me. He's like, and Fidel's laughing at him. He's like, dude, I've been drinking since I was 13. I got this. And so so they're pounding, and I'm drinking my Malibu rum and pineapple.
Yeah.
Lemon.
Yeah. Lemon drop.
I didn't get I graduated from a level drop to that, I guess. And because I'm not much of a drinker, I don't like beer very much, and I when I do have something, it's probably like a fruitier drink or whatever that masks the alcohol. So Fidel's drinking Captain and Coke, or was
it was Captain Coke.
Captain and Coke, and again, it's like this much Captain, that much Coke.
Yeah.
And so, they're drinking and they're drinking and they're drinking. And Fidel, when he drinks, his eyes get smaller. So I knew that Fidel's getting more and more lit as his eyes get smaller and smaller. So I'm like, hey man, let's go to the restroom, and get some water, wash our face, whatever. He's like, yeah, okay. So we go out of Carnival Court and we go to Harrah's, and here's me and Fidel walking like this, walking like that. We're holding on to each other to get to the restroom.
Yeah.
And trying to, drain out some of the alcohol or whatever.
Yeah. Make some room.
And then we get back to the Carnival Court, and then there's Ruben holding 2 more drinks for us.
Yeah.
And it amazes me how much Ruben can tolerate. And I don't know if maybe he told his friends, like, hook them up, and I only want a Coke.
He might have.
Because I have to speak for Fidel, because Fidel drank more than I did. But my 8 to his like 16 or something like that.
You see.
Steps to the bar.
Right, yeah, exactly.
Steps
That's what it
to the
was.
bar,
That's what it
yeah,
was.
yeah.
I'm taller, so I take longer strides.
Yeah.
But we were shit faced. Like we were like gone, and Ruben's like, okay, let's go. I'm like, fuck, if I'm drunk, how the hell is Ruben gonna get us home?
Yeah. That's
But
right. He drove us home.
He drove us home, and again, it's stupid us for driving with somebody that's intoxicated.
But again, he could have been.
Right, he could have
been.
I never thought of that.
10% alcohol, 90% soda.
Right. We don't know.
Yeah.
But I'd like to tell the story the way that he was wasted,
Yeah.
But he drove us home. But as he was driving home, Fidel's like, I'm hungry, guys. I'm hungry. He's like complaining that he's hungry because we hadn't eaten anything.
No, you got, and then plus when you drink, you got to go eat, right? You
Yeah.
have to eat afterwards.
Right. And we hadn't eaten anything since like, gosh, maybe like 4:00. And then we all, my brother takes forever to get ready, get ironing. Oh, that's the day you ironed all of our shirts too.
Yeah.
The pro ironer over here.
Dude. Hey, those creases aren't going to make
With the
themselves.
Yeah. So yeah, we take off, we go, and so we hadn't eaten anything. So now we're coming back, and the only thing open at like 3:00 in the morning was Jack in the Box. So we go into Jack in the Box and we order food, and we get back to Ruben's house. We're all in the living room eating, and Fidel's on the floor, and he has this burger on his chest,
Yeah.
and and then I see him, and he's asleep, and then I hear somebody kind of wake up, and he's like, guys, man, I'm hungry, guys. How come we're not getting anything to eat? Let's get something to eat. I'm like, Fidel, there's a burger on your chest, bro. And he's like, and he looks down. And he's like, oh, all right. And he takes a bite, and then he kind of nods back down and goes back asleep. And then he wakes up like 5 minutes later. Guys, dude, can we get something to eat, please? I'm hungry. I'm like, Fidel, there's a burger on your chest, man. Yeah. Oh, all right. And so, and then he eats it. And then finally, the third time he's about to say it, and then Ruben and Paul and Mike were like, Fidel, there's a burger on your chest. And he's like, oh, okay. And he gets up and he stands up and he starts eating with his fries and everything. And then we knock out.
I sobered up, by the way, with that food.
Yeah,
And so now, because I don't drink very much, I probably went in excess, and the lights went off, and I lay down, and the room starts spinning. So I know what happens when you get the spins. Well, when I get the spins, I'm gonna throw up.
Yeah.
So I crawl to the restroom, and I throw up. I'm praying to the porcelain god, and and then I go back and lay down, and then the room's spinning again. I'm trying to force myself not to focus on the spinning, but it just doesn't work. So I go back and I throw up. I'm like, fuck it. I'm not gonna get up anymore. If I'm gonna throw up, I'm just gonna stay right here.
Yeah.
So I'm laying over the bowl.
I mean, this guy is holding the bowl. Just like, he's got his head almost on the seat, just laying there.
Yeah. And so I pass out. I pass out. I really don't know anything at that. What happened after I threw up, and then I finally fell asleep or passed out. And then again, I don't know what's happening come the morning time.
Yeah.
Because I'm still passed out, and Fidel can take over at that point. Because
after he woke up in the morning, I told Rudy, hey man, you should probably take a shower.
Yeah, you did.
And then he's like, what? I'm like, you should probably just be the first one in the shower. He's like, why? And then that's when everything started coming to me, right? Because I told you I sobered up with that food, and I was like, all right. Well, I went to the restroom, and I just had to make some room, right? Had to drain it out. And I'm like, Rudy, you got to, dude, I need to use the restroom. You got to move. He wasn't moving, and I kept moving him out of the way. He just wasn't moving. I'm like, all right, brother. I go, and I even told him, I'm like, you ever had golden showers? Was it moving? I'm like, fuck it, dude. And then I just peed right over him, fuck it. Not everything stays on the bowl, right?
Golden
especially when you're half drunk. So I don't know what I hit, but I knew he was in shooting range, so to speak. So I told him, bro, you go take a shower and brush your teeth.
Yeah, man. I'm like, I thought I had a dream about rain, It was raining in my
Oh,
dream.
man.
that probably should have stayed in Vegas.
Yeah, sorry, man. But,
Yeah. Well, I mean,
it had to happen.
so needless to say, I took a shower. I took the first shower and jumped in. But we have some great Vegas stories. For Pearl's birthday, we took my friend.
Oh, Pearl. Yeah.
Yeah. Shout out to Pearl Castro. She's like a sister from another mister. We took her for her birthday, and this was the first time her meeting Ruben, and she thought she was all big and bad, just like everybody.
I warned her too, and I was like, "Yeah, don't let the little guy fool you."
And so I like that because we flew. This time we flew.
Yeah,
we flew.
45 minute flight. You know,
Nice.
easy
So-
peasy.
And what was great about that at the airport, my brother Fidel and I are just quoting line after line of Pulp Fiction.
Pulp Fiction.
We were quoting.
We might have done the whole movie.
By the time we got to
Right,
Vegas,
yeah.
yeah. So we had that little moment, and then we
By the way, that's our favorite movie,
yeah,
Pulp Fiction.
Pulp
Yeah.
Fiction.
great little Photoshop. However many years ago.
Oh, that's right. Maybe we
I
could put it
remember
up.
that.
Oh,
Yeah.
you seen
I
it?
remember that.
Yeah, dude.
yeah.
And then we went to Vegas, and we got there, and same thing. Pearl got all ready, and she wanted to go to a strip club, and
Yeah.
we took her. And well, first, Ruben, we do the Ruben routine, which was we go pregame,
Mm-hmm.
we go to Carnival Court, hang out there, and then I didn't even tell your OG story, but
Oh, we can get damn OGs. Hey, I didn't know they closed down, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
I saw it.
We'll get back to that OG story.
And then
$100 investment.
right, that's the best tip she ever got that night. And so we took her to OG, and I'm sorry, not OG's. Well, yes, there,
Yeah.
but first we went to Carnival Court, and then Ruben had the same thing. You keep up with me. I'll keep buying you drinks if you keep up with me. She's like, I got this.
Yeah.
And Pearl's tall, like she's a tall girl, and so she's drinking and drinking and drinking, and she's wasted. Now I was driving, so I didn't drink that much. I drank maybe an hour in between waters.
Yeah.
Because I was driving everybody, because I knew everybody was going to be lit. So we went to Cherry's, or we didn't go to OG's.
It was Cherries.
Yeah, and so we went to a strip club, and then she's wasted, and then first thing Ruben finds the bar, and he gives her the drink, and she takes one sip, and she's like, oh, and she just throws up in her mouth.
Oh.
Yeah.
And the very first restroom she runs is the stripper restroom where the strippers are.
Yeah.
So she was so embarrassed. She's like, I can't throw up in front of the stripper. So she swallowed it.
Oh.
And she goes into the stall, and then she throws up again.
Yeah.
And then she felt so embarrassed because she was in there with all the strippers and everything. And so she comes out. She's like, guys, I just threw up. Can you just give me the keys and I'll go inside? And Ruben's like, hey, what's going on, Pearl? Here's another drink. And
Yeah.
she's like, no, I can't do it. It's like, but we got to get you a dance. You got to do something. She's like, no, I can't. So she took my keys and she went in, and we came out, and the sun was
Yeah, it was
sun
like,
was
you
up.
remember that movie Varsity
sun.
Blues?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was just like that Varsity Blues. We came out and we're like, whoa, where did this come from? The sun came from, and we were there all night.
Yeah.
And
At a strip club?
Yeah.
I've never been in a strip club. Next story.
oh, never have, huh?
No.
But yeah,
Right,
we closed it down that night.
Yeah,
And then
yeah.
we knocked
What
on the
happened
door.
to Pearl?
Well, she was in the car,
Oh,
and she was
knocked
in
out?
the fetal position.
Yeah, dude, she was bad.
And we knock on the window, and she gets up and she lets us in, and then Ruben's like, hey, I'm hungry. Who wants something to eat? and Pearl's like, no. And we're like, no, you'll be okay. And Ruben talks her into it. Yeah, you'll feel better after you eat. Believe me, you'll feel better. So we go to Terrible's for
That's right.
for
yeah.
breakfast, and I think it was like a $4.99 breakfast, which had like
steak and eggs.
steak and eggs,
breakfast,
yeah. And so we get there, we sit down, we order, and then she's like, I gotta go to the restroom. She goes to the restroom, throws up or whatever. And then the food gets there when she gets back. So she gets there, she sits there, and she smells the food, and she's like, oh, I can't take it. She bolts and just
Oh,
goes and just throws up the rest of it. And then here we are just eating away.
It's Vegas.
And so, she's gonna remember that Vegas trip for the rest of her life.
She's still we still give her shit every time we see her every once in a while. But it was cool because this was the time that I was able to just kind of hang back and watch it happen.
Yeah.
You know? Watch Ruben at his work. It was fun.
Yeah.
I've been to Vegas a handful of times. I know the last time I've been was years back, but it was actually a sober trip and it was really different.
Yeah.
It was really different. I did a lot of shopping. Got a lot of shopping done.
Caesar's.
It was really weird.
That's what
Caesar's
my brother
Palace.
does.
Really
Yeah,
weird.
my brother shops when he goes to Vegas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure it's because I've been to Vegas. Have I gone back and not got shit faced? I don't remember the last time I went there and not got shit faced. Because I went there for my sister-in-law's birthday, her 21.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the thing is I pregame too hard. So it was like I think 10 a.m. and I'm like, all right, let's get started.
Let's get the day started.
Yeah, and I pregamed it all day, and by the time we got to the club, it was like I was like 10 p.m. and I'm already out, dude. The bouncer's like, you guys got to get out of here. So we had to leave. We had to leave early. Lily wasn't too happy about that. So, but yeah, dude. But it wasn't anything like that. OGs.
No.
That
almost got kicked out of OGs because
dude,
of your.
That night I was I threw up right in the club.
Yeah.
I just kind of put my arms over here in my head like this, and then I just threw up right down there. And then these guys, they saw, and they're like, all right, everybody get up, move about three seats to the left, to the right, or to the left, whatever.
Right.
And we just moved like nothing happened and left it on
And that
the
was
floor.
luckily it was in the corner. It was in the corner.
Yeah.
And so, so we get there and I told Fidel, hey, I got you a dance. I got you a dance, and I got a girl for him, and I paid her, and she gave him a dance and everything, and then she got up, and I was walking towards them, and she was putting something in her purse. I said, Fidel, what did you do? And he
I tipped her.
and so I'm like, I paid her already. And I stopped her. I said, hey, why are you taking money? I paid you for it. He's like, oh, no. He just tipped me. And I'm like, all right, whatever. And I didn't think anything of it. And then we, finish out the night. We get home, and Fidel wakes up and he's looking everywhere. And I'm like, hey, what's going on, man? He's like, dude, I lost $100. You lost $100? He's like, yeah, it's not anywhere in my pocket. And I just had $100 bill.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, you tipped the stripper $100? He's like, I did what? I said, yeah, bro. You told me you gave her. She said you gave her a tip, and you gave her a tip of $100. And he's like, oh, I must have, man, because I don't have. It's nowhere in my pocket. I just had $100 bill.
Yeah, I checked everywhere. I even checked his car, Ruben's car.
Yeah.
I was like, dude, look everywhere. Couldn't find it.
So that was a very expensive tip, or
She needed to pay for books. Somehow.
yeah, I know,
Dude,
right?
man, I don't
Tuition
even,
was
I don't
paid
remember
for.
the dance. That sucks. It could have been the worst dance I've ever had.
It probably was.
It probably was.
She probably just sat on your
She
lap
was
and
probably
just
like, this guy's drunk.
all right.
He's passed out.
He doesn't know any better.
Yeah.
Give me that 100.
That's right.
So never again did I go to Vegas and go to a strip club.
Moral of the story:
Moral of the story.
don't try to
But
out.
yeah, dude, we had some
Yeah,
good times.
that's
Yeah.
the moral of the story.
That is the moral of the story.
Don't out drink Ruben.
No, I wonder if he's still drinking like a fish, man. Does he still drink like a fish?
Just like you, I haven't been out there to party in a long time. I think
Yeah.
the last time I went was with Paul, Yvonne, and Manuel and Ruben, but
Yeah.
it wasn't anything like crazy.
Yeah.
Like we just went. I
Just
think we saw a band and just kept it really low key.
Yeah.
So
Hope he's doing good.
yeah.
Thanks, Ruben. I was gonna ask you about the West Covina High School.
Mhm.
I've noticed all these years that you've stayed really close to a lot of your friends from West Covina.
Mhm.
And I think I remember correctly, you said that you were voted school spirit,
Yeah, most
in the
spirited.
yearbook?
Yeah,
most spirited. Or there
most
you go.
spirited. Yeah.
So, tell me
What
a
is
little bit.
that?
That's like the dude that always wears Letterman jacket.
Okay.
No shit.
No shit.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
In the middle of summer.
Always wore it.
Always wore. Yeah.
Just the one that was always like, hell yeah, West Covina Bulldogs. You know,
Yeah, okay.
Right. Yeah.
all about it. Tell me your experience in your high school years.
Well, I guess growing up, I was kind of a knucklehead, really.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't really take school seriously growing up, but when I entered West Covina, freshman year, I didn't really know or what direction I was going in. You know, I was hanging around with a bunch of, you know, random people. Didn't, you know, good. You know, there are some people are good friends. Still to this day, I still talk to, but I didn't have any direction. And then my freshman year, I got into the choir. I sang in junior high at Edgewood, and I carried that over because I thought it was going to be an easy class like it was in junior high, an easy A.
Right.
You know, kind of keep up the GPA because I probably wasn't going to go to class very often. And so I met my music director, Mr. Richard Kinsler, who's passed away. So big shout out to him. He saw something in me, and I don't know what, you know, but he's able to find something out in everybody and get that out of them. And he was a major influence in my life, and a lot of us that had really no direction at a time that we didn't feel that we can talk to our parents.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we couldn't go to them. We're rebelling or whatever the case may be, or our parents wouldn't understand. And he did. He understood us. He knew how to talk to us. He knew how to break it down so that we can understand what our parents were trying to say.
Yeah.
You know, he was speaking for the parents, but yet in a way that we connected. So I got really involved in music. I played sports, you know, I was into, you know, baseball, football or whatever, but I never took it seriously. I never really wanted to do anything with it. You know, I tried out for the football team, and when they told me I had to be at school at 7 a.m. during the summer, I'm good, thanks.
Yeah.
I'd rather sleep.
Yeah.
So I really got involved in show choir. You know, my sophomore year, I joined, and my really good friend, you know, Song, I met him there, and I really do think of like these people as my family.
Yeah.
You know, I shared blood, sweat, and tears with these guys, and girls, and Song is like a brother to me. He really is. He'd be him and his family, his wife. Big shout out to them both, Heidi and Song, will give their shirt off their backs if you needed it.
Yeah.
You know, great people.
Mm-hmm.
No questions asked. You need something, we're there for you. And I feel, I hope that I can do the same thing for them, because they're just like that. You know, they will stop anything to go help me anytime, and I did the same for them.
Yeah.
And since then, you know, it was because we shared, we weren't like a normal class. Like, it wasn't like football season. It's just a season that you're there. All of us were together from the beginning of the year to the end of the year. Mm-hmm. You know, every class period, Saturday rehearsals, Monday rehearsals.
Was this from like freshman year all the way to senior year?
Junior year to senior year.
Oh, junior.
I'm sorry, sophomore year to senior year. So that's when I got involved and I was there, and we were there, and I would stay there even after school and hang out there and help Mr. K do things. And we had a little student store to help fund the show choir.
Yeah.
We sold candy and soda out of his office. Mm-hmm. So we had to stock it. We'd have to go to, you know, do candy soda runs at Sam's Club and Costco and stuff. So I would stay there, and I would literally be at school from 8:30 to maybe 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock at night.
Damn.
So with all that time frame that we spend together, you know, I developed this bond with them, with the other guys and the other girls, and, you know, and since then I've tried to keep that relationship with all of them, because we went through a lot together. You know? You know, we won championships, you know, in performances, and got on tour together.
Yeah.
You know, some of us slept together, and
right on.
You know, Good, both good and bad,
Okay.
you know. But you know, we like I said, we ate and slept, you know, the group.
Yeah.
And we were all a part of something bigger than us, and it was a lot of fun to be a part of that.
Yeah.
Met some great people, wonderful people.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, very blessed to have been in their lives and them there in my life. You know, I met, and what's cool about it too is people from past years,
Mm-hmm.
you know, would come back, and I get to talk to them and talk, you know, the time that they were there.
Or before, like they weren't even going in high school with you. They're older than you.
Right.
They had already graduated.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Alumni.
Yeah. And we had this connection, and we can identify with each other, you
Mhm.
know, and you know, and I looked up to those groups so much. I'm a big history buff. I love history. I really like it, and I kind of thought of my music group as that too. You know, there's a history before I came, and there's a history after I left.
Yeah.
You know, and I stayed on after 4 years after I graduated. I came back and helped out every Monday night and building sets, doing lighting.
Wow.
You know, just helping out my music director, because he did so much for us.
Yeah.
So I wanted to make his life easier. And Song and I would go back and help him do stuff. Now we're going to college too, but we still made time to help him with his performances and stuff like that. And we were very fortunate because we stayed on for so long and we did so much work that he took us on tour with him. So we went to Utah, we went to San Francisco, Vegas to help do the setup. So that was a really great honor for us to be there to help him out to do that. But yeah, and we're talking about the 70s that the music group started with when he came to West Covina and came together. But I can still talk to them and those people from the 70s, and we're still connected. We have that same type of connection with Mr. K and what we did and what they went through. I went through the same thing, and you know, they were, I can ask them how did you guys do this? What was this? I can go to them, you know, from the 70s, 80s, 90s, mm-hmm. And they were more than welcome. Like they were this is what we did. This is how we overcame this.
Yeah.
And, you know, and it was a great brother and sisterhood.
Yeah.
That was real cool.
You can feel and hear the emotion, you know, in your voice, like just how much it meant to you, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Like he was a really special guy, Mr. K, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, like you said, he must have affected hundreds of kids.
Yeah.
You know, it just and influenced hundreds of kids
Mm-hmm.
throughout his tenure at West Covina High School. Was that the only school that he taught at?
He taught at Edgewood High School, and then it merged to West Covina High School when the two high schools merged,
right.
and he went to West Covina. So he touched, you know, I mean, he helped generations of students too.
Yeah.
Like, you know, you know, parents of students came back and they went in there, and you know, I think he had like one student was 3 generations. You know, he helped you know, from whatever, but but yeah, you know, I mean, he did, you know, he helped guide so many. Maybe they didn't stay in music, but they did something else. But because of something that he taught, it stayed with them.
Yeah.
You know, to this day, again, I work for the auto club, you know, and I'm a manager. I manage a branch. But to this day, there's so many things that he taught me in that classroom that I use in my day-to-day life.
Wow.
And there's so many of us that say the same thing.
Yeah.
And you know, the way that he taught us, he prepared us to deal with the real world before college did.
Yeah.
And you know, because there's a chance that some of us weren't going to go to college,
Mm-hmm.
but we need to learn how to deal with different personalities, different races, different ideas, different different things that you're going to have to deal with in the real world. And he made us deal with it in that classroom, and it was really eye-opening.
Yeah.
And it's something that again stays with me to this day.
Wow. You know, it seems like there's not too many of those teachers around nowadays.
Mm-hmm.
It's what it seems like from when you hear, you know, there's not too many kids that I think are growing up with those same fundamentals as a teacher like that from back, an old school teacher like that. But then, you know, we talked to Artie Casas, and he sounds kind of like similar to what you're saying. I mean, he's really involved with these kids, you know what I mean? He really cares about it.
Right.
And he's not there just for the paycheck kind of thing, you know what I mean? He cares. So, I mean, I mean, that was just me thinking that there wasn't too many teachers like that out there, but I'm sure there are. They're just
I think it takes
far and in between.
I think it takes a special person. It really does, and it does, and it doesn't matter, like if you're a teacher, like he would be there from 8:30 a.m. to 10 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
Monday through Friday, and then Saturday's the same thing. He really did pour his heart and soul into every year, every student and every group. And it doesn't just have to go for teachers. I mean, different, Artie, whatever, he's into, he's pouring his heart and soul into it, and it can be seen by his students or by his, whatever it is. I have managers that mentored me that I looked up to because of the blood, sweat, and tears that they put in, and I really admire them, and I want to emulate them because of how well how successful they've been with the auto club.
Yeah.
I want to learn from them because they're doing something right.
Right.
And I've picked up so much from managers that I really look up to, and even bad managers. Mm-hmm. You pick up things from them too. Sometimes you learn the most from managers that you don't really see eye to eye with.
Yeah.
And that's something that Mr. K taught us. You're going to run into people that you're not going to get along with, and you're not going to see eye to eye with. You always got to take something good out of it. You got to learn from it. Even if it's something that's something that you wouldn't do if you were in that situation or in that position.
Yeah.
So
wow.
Did you go to school with any siblings? Do you have siblings?
So I have an older brother, blood brother, and then I have 4 stepbrothers. And I did go to my stepbrother Christian. He was a senior when I was a freshman.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So
it's like, well, because you have Andres, and then
yeah.
Did you only go to school with Andres?
Yes, only with Andres. Oh no, well Sandra too. My older sister.
You were in school.
I was
Sandra?
a freshman when she was a senior.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I went to school with. I was the one that was able to go to school with both of them, and then Andres went to school with Vanessa too. So
yeah.
Just for I think a year or two, maybe a year. Yeah.
And then you also went to school with my aunt, I believe.
Yeah,
right?
Delilah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
See, that's the thing too. That Delilah, she was a part of the group, and that's what connected us. And it's really weird, man. I mean, we have, it's just a small world. We just have this connection. Yeah.
What a trip.
It's a trip. What's up, everybody? This is Fiddy.
And I'm Izzy. We're taking a quick second in recognition of this month being Suicide Prevention Awareness Month. We wanted to give you a few avenues of help out there. One of them being the Suicide Prevention Hotline number. It's 1-800-273-8255.
Now, the reason for this pause break here is to let you guys all know that the next topic of conversation is in regards to suicide. So remember, you guys, please reach out and call that hotline. Use it. It's there for a reason. People are out there waiting for you guys to call if you need it. Now, thank you very much. You mentioned that you have 4 stepbrothers, and you went to school with one of them.
Yeah,
Christian. Let's start off with, how was your experience? Because your parents are divorced. Stepbrother.
Right.
I think back then, I never asked you at what age did your parents get divorced?
I was probably in like the 2nd grade.
Second grade, so you're like 9.
Yeah, about that.
9 years old.
Yeah, my dad and mom didn't. Things weren't working.
Yeah, we don't have to get too much into like the why. I mean, everybody has their own reasons, No,
I mean, I'm just they finally, and my dad would tell you it's because of the Raiders playoff game. That's what happened.
A Raiders playoff game.
That's what caused the divorce.
Fucking Raiders, man.
My mom gave him like a last chance, and they were supposed to go out to dinner.
Yeah.
And my dad decided to stay out with my cousin's dad at a bar to watch the game, and he came back like wasted, and she was pissed.
Yeah.
And she's like, "That's it,
Last straw.
you're out," and that's what happened.
Wow.
Raiders can never. Never catch a break, man.
They can't.
Constant divorce.
Yeah.
No, but I mean, there's more to it. But
Of course,
that was
I'm
the-
sure
that
he
was the-
he makes light of it when he says that.
yeah,
So.
yeah.
So what I was gonna ask you was, what I was getting to was, back then it was more of a, I think divorces were a minority,
Mm-hmm.
right? So people were getting married more and staying together more than they were getting divorced. At one point, maybe I think it was in the late 90s, where I think there was a report on it where divorce rate was actually beat the marriage rate, 51. Now it could have been because less people getting married, you know, whatever the case may be. But back then it was not to say taboo, but it just was a little unheard of, where maybe there's less kids that were in a classroom, less kids that were in divorced homes than there were in married homes. What did you experience any difference in that, like when you were a kid growing up, the adjustment wise?
You know, I don't think I was ever like teased about being, you know, from a divorced family, because basically what happened was when my parents divorced, my dad had moved out, and then my mom worked 2 jobs. She worked for the Department of Water and Power, and then she also worked for Ollie's hardware store.
Okay.
And then
Was that like a chain?
Yeah, it was like something. Yeah, or was it Ollie's? I don't know. But she worked for like a hardware store, and my dad would come and get us every other weekend, my brother and I, and then because my mom wasn't able to really have things organized in the house or whatever, my dad felt that my brother and I were getting to an age where that we needed a man in the house. Needed to teach us to be a man.
Yeah.
She couldn't do that. So he made an agreement with her and said, you know, I'm going to move in and I'm going to take over because, you know, you have 2 jobs. You can't handle the boys, and the boys right now are at their age that they need a man.
Yeah.
So they agreed, and my mom moved out and my dad moved in, which was a big, like, culture shock for my brother and I, because my mom was really laid back and she kind of let us get away with everything because she was asleep for most of the time because she was watching us. She was working 2 jobs, and my grandfather would watch us until she got home from her second job. And so my dad took over that first weekend. He had us out mowing the lawn, washing the car, cleaning the house,
Manning you guys up.
Yeah, making us do chores and everything. And hell, I'm 9 years. Like, what can a 9-year-old do?
Yeah.
So my brother had to do a lot of the big things, and I feel like I was probably more of a nuisance than I was a help. And so growing up, he had to do a lot of stuff until I became older. But what happened was, shortly after my dad moved in, my dad started dating, and then he ended up meeting and staying with my current stepmom. And my stepmom had 4 boys from a previous marriage too. So I got to know them and be a part of the family and everything. And then when my brother graduated high school, he decided to move with my mom, and my dad said, well, we're gonna, since you were the only reason why we were really staying, since I was at a young age, I didn't really have a say. My brother, he respected my brother asking to stay until he graduated high school. And so we moved to West Covina.
Yeah.
And then moved into West Covina to my stepmom's house, and there was 4 boys and my dad and my stepmom living under one roof. And one of the oldest stepbrother, which is Nacho, he was in the military, so he was only home every now and again. He wasn't home very long. He was in Kansas, stationed in Kansas. My brother, the second oldest stepbrother, was Leo, and he was back and forth from New York, where their dad lived. He was back and forth. And then Carlos and Christian. Christian and I always got along really well. I mean, because we were so close in age. You know, he was only 3 years older than me, and so I kind of gravitated to him more, and he, you know, he and I got along, and we got into like the most mischief together, I guess you can say.
Yeah.
And then, so I can't say that I ever really felt, you know, ostracized or anything like that for having divorced parents, because it seemed really seamless to me because I was just a kid.
Yeah.
And so when I moved to West Covina, you know, my brothers really made me feel kind of somewhat at home, you know, or welcomed, I should say.
Yeah.
And, but just like anybody with brothers, you know, and you're going to get into arguments, you're going to get into fights. You're
Roughhousing,
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You know, there's some great stories about that, you know, things that we did, and were really memorable. But yeah, I didn't really notice a difference because I felt like I was too young to really notice.
Yeah.
But I mean, the time between my dad remarrying and the time that he was divorced, it felt like it was short. You know, it didn't seem like it was that long.
Mm-hmm.
So I felt like I was a part of a nuclear family, you know, really quickly.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know. It could have been years from what I can remember.
Yeah.
But I didn't feel any different.
Yeah. Yeah, I just the only reason why I asked was that it seems like more kids nowadays just kind of, it's easier for them to adapt to something like that now. You know, like, I don't know, just like you said, maybe it's more seamless. I don't know, I just thought it was interesting.
Yeah.
I guess it would depend on the age that it happens.
Yeah, I'm sure probably when Paul it was a lot harder. I think actually it was a lot harder on my brother than it was me because I was at a younger age, and I think my brother took it. I don't think he'll tell you, you know, but I think he took it the hardest.
You think so?
Yeah, and I think that's what caused a lot of, and it's again just my opinion. It's a lot of animosity that he built up towards my mom or my dad, and I don't think my brother's very good at being able to. He keeps a lot of things in.
Doesn't express himself.
Yeah, right. And until it just blows up, like he's a ticking time bomb sometimes. Yeah. You know, where I'm more. I wear it on my sleeves. I'm more like my dad.
Yeah,
I wear it on my sleeves.
Yeah, you have a lot of emotion.
Yeah,
I watch you. I mean, I've been with you when we watch games.
Right. So, yeah. But.
Yeah.
This has me just thinking about like my situation with Levi.
Yeah.
You know, he was a baby when we split, you know, so he doesn't know mommy and daddy together, you know? So in my head, it's like all I really want is for us to just be civil for him.
Right.
And just let him know beyond all costs that he is loved no matter what. You know, because I always think about stuff like, how is he going to grow up? What is he going to be like? What is he going to think about? What is he going to remember? What is he going to ask?
Yeah.
You know, and it's a trip because when I go down these rabbit holes of thinking about that, I'll have dreams. I'll have dreams of me like interacting with him as a teenager. And it's really weird. Yeah. It's really weird. And we just have conversations in my dreams and stuff.
But, I think it's better. My opinion, I think it is better when the parents are divorced and both parents still show the child love, as opposed to parents that stay together for the kids and then make each other's lives miserable. Yeah. You know, that there's all this tension in the house, and, you know, why do I stay? There's all these arguments. There's all these, you know, I went growing up, you know, I had friends that their parents, you can feel the tension when you walk in. They just ignore each other, and you know, just, you know, and they stay together for the kids until finally they graduated and whatever, and they get divorced, and you know what happened, and like, oh, we just stay together for the kids. Yeah. It's terrible. Never for the kids. No. It's worse on the kids. Yeah. And these people that stay in the relationships, abusive, verbally, physically, you know, and they say, well, it's better that they have two parents than just one parent. Well, no, because you're creating a cycle that child is going to think that it's okay. Yeah. That's how you treat it's normal. Right. And it's not normal. No. And it shouldn't be normal.
No, it shouldn't be normal.
And and these kids are ignorant.
Yeah.
You know, these parents are ignorant. Let me rephrase that. And to think that it's better to have two parents, regardless of the situation that the child is in, than separating. And I think you're in a better situation with Levi than the other way. You know,
Right.
And I think he's going to appreciate that more when he becomes a young adult and growing up. The fact that he doesn't see his parents cursing at each other and throwing crap at each other and just, you know, and I saw that when I was a kid. I saw my mom throw things at my dad, and my dad, you know, yelling and screaming and at each other, you know, and that was, you know, my brother and I sitting in a hallway crying, you know.
Yeah.
And it's better that he doesn't see that. He sees that you're civil with your, you know, with your baby mama and stuff. And I wish the best for any child that's in that circumstance, that just seeing a glimpse of that, it really does, it leaves such a lasting memory.
Yeah.
And you can take it two ways.
Mm-hmm.
Either you take it and you understand that's not how you treat somebody, or you do the exact same thing that you just saw.
Right.
And you hope that it's the other way, that's not how it's going to be, but more times than none, then they take it that this is okay.
Yeah. I don't know what it is about like my son, but he's a bit different than like I see like Jacob's boys or my sister's kids that are in a household with a mom and dad. Levi's very not that they're not well mannered, because I think they're very well mannered. They got good manners. They're raised, you know, properly and everything. But for being in this co-parenting, as they call it, kind of a household with his mom and I, he's very well mannered and you know, he's a good kid.
Yeah.
I get compliments all the time on him, you know, and I'm like, okay, well, that just lets me know that both of us are doing something right, at least.
Yeah.
You know, even though we're not doing it together.
Right.
We're doing something right.
Yeah.
You know, he doesn't play mommy. He doesn't play daddy. He doesn't do that. You know, he doesn't play those cards. You know,
Not
which
yet.
is good.
Not yet.
Hopefully it stays that way, you know, but.
No, but it's like you said, like you guys were saying, you know, when you keep it like that and you're cordial and you're doing it for the child, you're going to raise it, you know, that's how you're going to raise a good kid like that, you know? And when when the parents are bickering and they're divorced and they're always hating on each other and throwing dirt on each other, it's just not.
Yeah.
That's when you start making the kid choose sides.
You know
what I mean?
Yeah.
That would be my one complaint, is that we are very cordial with each other.
Yeah.
It's when other parties get involved that
Okay.
that attitudes change.
Yeah.
But just the two of us, we could chat, we could talk. Every year on his birthday we go to dinner, the three of us.
Yeah.
You know.
But you know, all those other people around you, it shouldn't matter,
Right.
Because it's for one. You know.
I think that.
You know. So, I mean, you got. You know, you might have to sit down and talk. You know, and be both on agreement that that shouldn't matter. Those people are gonna have what's that saying say? I'm gonna butcher it. I know I haven't butchered it in a while time, but
Get your shots ready, guys.
It's like Jesus Christ. Like
Superstar.
people have asses and butts and opinions.
I have never heard that ever.
Everybody has one.
Yeah.
What is it?
Yeah. Well, I understand what you're trying to say.
Okay.
I don't know the saying that you're trying to get
Yeah.
to, but I understand.
Opinions are like butts. Is that what it is? Opinions are like butts. Everybody has one. Something like that, right?
That's good though. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd say okay.
Someone's taking some shots.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Fuck
Yeah.
it, whatever.
I've never
Yeah.
heard of that.
But I think too that you know, it being in a family that was divided, you know, or divorced, I should say. I did pin my parents against each other a lot of the time as growing up, and that's very good that you and Heather, right, have a really good cordial relationship with one another, because my mom on purpose would piss off my dad. If you had them in the same room longer than 5 minutes, voices were going to be raised because my mom loved pushing his buttons. She just, I don't know what it was. She just loved doing it.
Yeah.
And at least that's what it seemed like.
Yeah.
But they would argue over my brother's birthday. Like, you know, my dad said 73. And my mom's like, no, it's 72. And then they just went, you know, like, and it's 72, by the way. But they just, you know, just say, you know, just to say, you know, okay, well, if that's what you think, just leave it alone. But she wouldn't leave it alone. She kept on digging and digging and digging. And, you know, it could be just all the stuff that she put him through that she wants to give it right back. You know?
Or that he put her through.
Yeah. Well, yeah, exactly. And I think it's great that you guys are able to be on the same page with a lot of things that, you know, I'm pretty sure you run things by her and she runs things by you that require school and all that stuff that, you know, and it's just a different way of life that if your mom is happy and your dad is happy and they're happy away from each other, it makes a better child than being miserable together and having the child see how miserable you are together. I loved seeing my mom happy, and I loved seeing my dad happy. Yeah. And I knew that the only way that was going to happen is if they were apart. Yeah. So, yeah.
Wow.
That's our main concern, is that Levi's happy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He's fed. He's got roofs over his head. He's well taken care of.
Yeah.
You know? That's it.
That's how it should be.
Mm-hmm.
Well, on another note, did you know? And and we talked about this earlier, but did you know that this month, September, there's an awareness? You know how they have like awareness, and I think September has quite a few. It's got a few. One of the ones that we talked about was the Suicide Awareness Month.
Mm-hmm.
And I was gonna ask Rudy, because I know that you have someone close to you that committed something like this, right? This act. How would this topic is touchy, all right? It's a sensitive topic, so you're not gonna get any good things or bad things. But I should say, what I want to do by talking about this is I want people to take something away from this.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we've talked about depression in this show many times. Suicide has a connection to that. It has to. Okay. And we've already seen it with many celebrities, and that's all the stuff that we see on the news and everything that's covered. But the stuff is that there's a lot more personal things that are involved that no one really gets to hear. You know, for example, like you, Rudy, with your brother. I mean, I don't know if you mind speaking on it, but I know that you're a little closer to that topic where you can elaborate a little bit more as to your experience with it.
I did. My brother, who I was closest to out of all my stepbrothers, was Christian, and about 5 years ago now, took his own life, and it was hard. It was hard because it seemed so surreal. Christian had always been kind of the gold standard in the house. You know, he was, in my opinion, the favorite out of everybody. You know, he was a good student. He was always, everybody, kind of, he was a good guy. Yeah. He really was. I mean, Christian was a great guy, and he was a great father. He loved his kids, and he did everything he could for them, and it was really really sad to see that the decision that he made had made him think that this was going to be the best decision that he can make for them, and that's sad.
Yeah.
And what hurt me the most was we were playing softball together with him.
Right.
Like, you know, and this was really neat because it was him and his son playing with us. And we were playing, we had just finished the game that Sunday. And he said, you know, he's like, hey, I'm going to go on this ride. Because and then I'll be back. I'll miss next Sunday, but, you know, Donovan will be here to play. And I just talked to him, you know, and then that Friday got the news that he passed away. And I remember hearing the news, and when my dad called me, he was crying, and I thought my grandmother had passed away, to be honest, you know, the way that he was, because my grandmother's 93 years old, and my grandfather had just passed before that. So I, you know, normally older couples, when one goes, the other one's not far behind.
Right.
And she's still kicking.
Good for her.
Yeah. But my dad called me, and he was, I couldn't understand what he was saying. Like, I couldn't make it out. And he fumbled the words, and I just barely made it out. And I just remember falling to one knee. Like somebody just punched me in the stomach. Yeah. And I couldn't believe it, because I just saw him just 4 days ago. Yeah. You know, 4 or 5 days ago. And come to find out the circumstances and, you know, everything was really, at the time, was very vague in terms of what happened. But he decided that the best decision that he could make was to take his own life. I think I told Fidel, I don't, no matter what could have been done, I think we would have supported him to help him get through it, that he didn't have to take his life. We would have been there to help him. We all loved him so much that, you know, we were going to support him and be there for him. And we all know that we're human. We're going to make mistakes. We're going to fall down. We're going to, you know, we're going to stumble, but the best character is getting back up and dusting yourself off and getting ready for the next round. Yeah. And we all would have been beside him, regardless of the wrong he did or whatever the cause that made him make that decision. I feel that we would have been behind him.
Mm-hmm. Even if it's just one person that is behind you, it's not worth doing what you do, you know, that act.
Right.
You know? And that's the message that I want to kind of get across from here is anybody that's out there listening or watching this, you need to understand that act, in my opinion, is very selfish, because there's a lot of people out there, and you, at that time, you may not think that you're appreciated, that you're thought of, that, you know, but you have to understand that you are, and there is, even if it's just one person out there, you're going to affect that one person's life. Trust me, you will. Not just, I mean, it could be more than one. It's most of the time it's more than one, but you are going to affect that person's life. So, I mean, think twice, you know, get help. There's help out there. There's hotlines, especially right now. It's the awareness month. Mm-hmm. Suicide hotlines out there. I thought I wrote it down here and I didn't. We'll post it up. Get help. Reach out to somebody. There's people out there that are willing to listen. You know, if it's something that you're embarrassed about, trust me, there's nothing more embarrassing than taking your life away, in my opinion. Mm. So, I mean, reach out, you know.
You had mentioned about depression tying into suicide. Depression is a disease.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
You're not. I've had friends. I've quite a few friends, and it blows me away that have taken their life, and it's the cause was depression. You know, and it's you're not clear-minded, level-headed for any reason. You know, so what did you say that that it was doing that act?
Selfish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think that they would see it that way. You
Right.
know what I mean?
At that point, at that state of mind that they're in, obviously, yeah, they probably don't.
Right.
So what we need to do is we need to find how do we express it to, to people out there that act like that. Okay, I think it's selfish, right? Now, you may not think the same thing. You may not think the same thing because due to the experiences that you've gone through or you've gone through, right? So where do we get to that point where we can help or assist that person? And I know that it's tough to do because if that person isn't seeking out the help, then how are they going to get it, right? So do we have to be more vigilant? Do we have to go out there and touch people a little bit more than we do, and not just kind of brace through people, reach out, give more phone calls? I mean, I'm guilty of it. I don't contact as many people that I probably should be,
And yeah, and you're talking about people that you know.
Right.
Imagine people that you're just passing on throughout the day. You're just passing by.
Right.
Always throw a smile, man. Always say good morning. Chivalry amongst humanity.
Yeah.
Keep that alive. Open a door for a lady when she's walking through.
Right.
Hold open a door for the guy that's coming in the store late. You know what I mean? Stuff like that.
I think that you guys have done a really good job in the podcast since starting this, and just making people aware that, some people are in their darkest hour at one point or another in their life that, and I think you said it on one of your podcasts, that there's somebody awake somewhere in the web that you can just say, I don't think I can do tomorrow. I don't think I can make it through tomorrow. And if you just put it out there, there's somebody that's going to hopefully read that and say, you can do it. You're stronger than you really think. This too shall pass. We're going to get, you're going to get through this.
Yeah. You're
going to learn from it. You're going to get stronger from it. You're going to be a better person because of it. You just gotta go through it. This is just one dark time in your life that you're gonna get past, and I'm gonna be here to make sure you get through there.
Right.
And hopefully that's what somebody says, that really wants to make sure that there's a lifeline out there.
Yeah.
Even it's just to vent, just to talk, and I don't think we really take advantage of that ability to just talk to each other. When we feel at our darkest, that we just want to be alone in a corner.
Yeah.
And we need to allow ourselves to show how vulnerable we really are. We're not made out of iron.
Right.
And we need to be, ready to speak up and say, I need help.
Yeah.
Somebody help me some way, even if it's just to listen. Yeah.
Well, I'm sorry. I didn't want to bring the show down or anything.
No.
But I'm just.
I think it's great that we're covering it, especially this month.
Yeah.
And like you said, we'll definitely put links and numbers out there for you guys. But yeah, man, try to smile.
Yeah.
Smile, even if it's a forced smile. Just smile.
Try to get back to that moment where you remember you were happy, and get back to that moment and start thinking about that. Those kind of things,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, it's funny because I just got back from a conference, but we kind of talk about customer service. You got being in customer service, that I may have been taking 10 phone calls for the same problem over and over and over again, but every time I get on the phone, this is the first time that person's telling you about their problem.
Right.
So make sure that you treat them as if it's the first time you're hearing the problem.
Right. Oh, that's good.
You know what I mean? Because you may have heard that same problem 10 times, but this is the first time that they've had a chance to tell you about it.
Mm-hmm.
And we just got to remember that. And I've been guilty of it, being in customer service for so long that I've gotten numb sometimes. But I think in my current position, I've had this renewal of understanding that this is their first time that they're going to tell me about their problem, and I got to do everything I can to make it right.
Yeah.
And I got to show them that I'm going to work hard to fix that problem.
Yeah.
And we just got to remember that we just got to be the best of us that we can when we're working with people or talking to people. So
yeah.
I'm going to have to start calling early in the morning. Try to be the first one to call.
Well, I'm up at 4.
There you go. You're up before they are.
It's 24/7, sir.
Oh, that's right.
Call center's
The Auto
24/7.
Club. The Auto Club.
The Auto Club.
So we're going to try to wrap this show up. I know it's been pretty long. You're probably tired. You're ready to go. You haven't taken a break yet. So why don't you leave us with a little bit of, I don't know, some thoughts, something you could think of right now that would kind of make sense in this podcast, maybe your future, some of the goals that you have personally.
I think that I don't really, I don't know. I don't.
And the only reason why I ask is because I care about you, right? Like I do BFFs, like I do with you, with all the guests that we have here. You kind of get attached. You sat with them for an hour. That's more than you normally do with anybody else, right? Nowadays, it's all text messages and quick selfies. And I feel that if you say it out and you put it out there in the universe, you make it come into to fruition.
Yeah.
Okay. And that's the only reason why I ask about people's, what are your futures? What are your goals? That's the only reason why I want you to say it out loud and,
Yeah. You know what? I agree with you.
Yeah.
I totally agree that I've now been thinking more like, I need to put it out in the universe.
Yeah.
Right. And it'll come back to you one way or another. It'll come back to you.
Yeah.
My goals, I think that, in the next 3 to 5 years is try to make my way back to West Covina. That's my ultimate goal. Well, back to the SGV.
Yeah.
One, area. And to be successful in my new venture as a manager. I want to be successful. I want to lead my team. I want to make my team successful. Because I am very competitive. I want to be the top or one of the top.
Right.
Every year you got to grow. So I want to be successful in my new venture because I really want to prove the people that doubted me wrong.
Yeah.
That's the key. That I really want those people that didn't think I can do it or I wasn't right for the position. I want to prove them wrong that I do have what it takes.
Yeah.
I am going to be successful.
Yeah.
I'm going to be successful regardless if you think so or not. And that's my goal. That's my future. And I really, I have a wonderful partner. Shout out to Sarah. And she makes me feel appreciated. She makes me feel, special, and I want to keep doing that to her. That's my goal too. I want to make sure that I can make her happy. I can provide for her. I can provide for us, and we can do things. And I want to have that ability to keep doing that.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And I wish you the best, brother.
Thanks, man.
Yeah,
Thanks again for doing the show, man. A lot of great content, good stories.
No, you guys keep on doing what you're doing, man. I love your shows, and I think I told you guys the last time. When I hear you guys, I want to talk. I'm talking to the screen because I watch you guys, and I hear you guys talking. I want to chime in, and and I think it's amazing, and you guys are doing your dream, and I'm proud of you guys.
Thanks,
I really am. You guys keep doing it.
Thank you.
You guys are living your dreams, and I think it's wonderful. It's very wonderful.
Nice.
Definitely.
Appreciate it,
Thank you
brother.
very much. Thank you for your time.
Yeah, thanks.
Thanks for sharing everything too, man.
Yeah.
No problem.
It's a wrap,
Go ahead.
man.
Close this bitch up.
Remember, click, share, and subscribe, guys. Thanks.
Did you just wink and then the gun? Is that what you did?
Yeah, I learned that in '89.
All right, man. Thanks a lot, man.
See you
Click
later,
the subscribe
guys.
button, notification bell, all that good stuff. Bye.
Have a good one.